What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of That Fuzzing Rocks Who Interviews. I got a banger for you today, man. I'm excited about this one. Please welcome from the band Ghoul, Digester. Digester, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Listen, I appreciate you stopping by, man. I'm not going to waste any of your time. We'll jump right into it here. We are here today to talk about the upcoming release from Ghoul. It's called Noxious Concoctions. It's available February 2nd via Tankcrimes, and an upcoming assault on the road is coming soon with Municipal Waste, Necrot, and Dead Heat. Sorry about that.
That's right.
Starting February 15th, that's going to be at the Black Hat in Washington, D.C. Check the tour schedule for your where they're going to be showing up locally. It's your shows, and we'll get to all that in just a little bit. Let's talk about the band first. Who else is in the band? Who else do we have in the band?
Well, we have me, Digestor, guitar and vocals. Dissector is also guitar and vocals. Cremator, the bass player and vocalist, and Fermentor, the drummer and vocalist.
Now, when did you guys first get together as a band?
I think the first record came out in 2001. I think maybe 2000, but I think 2001, and I think the second came out in 2003. I'm pretty sure. Maybe 2004, actually, because I'm pretty sure Maniacs. It's the 20th anniversary of Maniacs this year.
Now, your first album was "We Came for the Dead."
Correct.
It was released in 2002.
2002.
Tell us a little bit about that album.
That album is kind of a different sound. It's like a little bit more of like a gore grindy record, and it was just kind of us figuring out what we were supposed to sound like.
Now, how would you compare the sound of the band from that album to the release of this one here?
It's similar but different. We Came for the Dead is definitely a lot kind of dirtier, low tuned, kind of more sounds like more like Hemorrhage or something. One of those like a gore grind band.
Sure. More
carcassy, but the riffs were still pretty thrashy. It's kind of hard to hear them because it's tuned so low and it's so distorted, but the riffs still had a lot of thrash in them. And then the next album we tuned up and that stuff became a lot more clear.
So let's talk about you for a couple minutes here. When did you first know that you wanted to become a musician?
When I first heard Motley Crue, I think that was true. Like when I first started listening to stuff like Motley Crue and Rat and stuff like that back a long time ago, and saw their videos and stuff, I was like, I got to do that. So yeah, like I would say, like around the time of Girls or whatever, I started listening to that band, and that was it.
How about influences for your sound?
I'm sorry.
How about some influences for your sound? What kind of influences your sound?
Carcass, Metallica, Anthrax, SOD, a lot of those types of bands, yeah, and Agnostic Front.
I'm actually going to get a chance to see some of the Agnostic Front boys tomorrow night. Actually, they're coming around here for we have an award show going on here, so it's going to be pretty cool to see those boys. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell Vinny Stigma hi from Ghoul.
I absolutely will, for sure, dude. So we're going to do a little thing called rapid fire response. I have 5 questions for you. I'm going to throw them at you pretty quick, and let's see what the answers are. What is the name of your first ever band?
Ghoul.
Oh, okay, all right. Where was your first gig? Do you remember?
The catacombs of Creepsylvania in front of a bunch of sewer rats.
Your best quote unquote rock and roll moment?
Throwing up a bunch of steak out the window of a moving vehicle.
How about one album that you cannot live without?
Dungeon Bastards.
And this is probably the hardest one to answer. What is your biggest onstage oops?
Yeah, that's the hardest one to answer. Like this week or in the last 25 years?
If there's one that really stands out in your mind, that's the one we're looking for.
Oh, yeah. I remember getting blackout drunk on malt liquor before playing a show, and kind of playing the show and coming to in the middle of playing a song and being like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what song this is.
Where am I? What am I doing? Hey, listen,
Yeah.
if you pulled it off, that works, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, that's the thing, is no one can tell the difference. So, I mean, you know, that's when you start questioning some of your decisions in life.
Yeah, right. So, out of all the albums that you guys have recorded, do you have a favorite out of all of them?
Yeah, my favorite is probably Dungeon Bastards, but I like them all. They're all my babies.
I was just going to say, it's like trying to name your favorite kid.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite song that you like to play of yours live?
Off with Their Heads is for sure. That's on Transmission Zero. That's my favorite song to play live because it's easy.
Well, there you go. Now let's get into the new album. Of course, this one, you know, we'll rewind that. This one's your favorite, of course. But
of course,
so
this is my favorite to promote at the moment.
That's right. There, yeah, there you go. So the new one is called Noxious Concoctions, due out February 2nd via Tankcrimes. Guys, check your streaming platforms for availability. Let's get right to the album. It's a 5-song banger. It comes out swinging and does not stop. How long did it take for you guys to write this?
It didn't take very long to write, probably, but we kind of have like a collection of like 20 songs or something like that, and we got offered this tour with Municipal Waste, and we wanted to get something out because it'd been so long. We wanted to get something out before the tour, so we were just like, let's do these 4 songs, let's get them out. And so, you know, it didn't take that long to write each song, probably, but it's, some of them are pretty old. Some of them are like 4 years old.
And where did you guys record it? Was it recorded in the Catacombs, or did you guys actually?
We recorded with Anti-Sleep Studios with Scott Evans, who is a master engineer, and he even makes us sound pretty good.
So now, aside from touring with that whole pandemic thing that happened, how did that affect the band? Did you guys get a lot of writing done? Did it hamper you?
No, we did not get a lot of writing done. We did get some writing done, but it put a damper on everything. I mean, we barely saw each other for a year and a half or so. And then, you know, when we came back to it, things had changed, people had moved, and all that stuff.
So now you guys are going to hit the road starting February 15th in DC with Municipal Waste, Necrot, and Dead Heat.
Correct.
How did you guys line that tour up? How'd that come about?
Well, Municipal Waste has been friends of ours for a really long time, and they've asked us to come out a few times, but you know, like, those guys are like real road dogs, touring constantly. That's what they do for a living, and we've never been a band like that. We kind of have to choose things to do, and so it never quite lined up. But we always wanted to, and this time it kind of lined up perfectly. And then Necrot's with us on Tankcrimes, and they're a fucking awesome band. Excellent. And Dead Heat's a fucking awesome band, so we're stoked to be on the tour. I mean, it's all friends, and I think it's going to be great.
So you guys are all ready to assault the country now? Is that you guys are?
We are. We got our shots, and we're you know, everyone's in shape. And we're ready to slaughter the fucking citizens of the United States of America and parts of Canada.
There you go. I'm in shape, but it's round, so I mean, it qualifies as a shape.
It's a fucking shape. It's a shape.
Listen, I try to pass that off. You know what I mean? It's like, listen, I'm following the rules. It's a shape, so I am technically I'm in shape. You know. So now, as far as you guys writing music, we talked about that a couple seconds ago here, but like, what is the writing process for the band? How do you guys come up with your songs?
Well, usually the stuff gets kind of written by one person, and then maybe changed a little bit when everyone learns it. People go, you know, maybe this should go like this, or maybe this drum beat should be this drum beat. So it kind of gets rearranged a tiny bit, and then that's it. We don't do a whole lot of like collaborative writing or writing. Things don't get like worked on a lot. They get they're kind of mostly done when they're presented to the band.
Now, do you guys have those moments where you guys are kind of jamming and just screwing around? And you're like, oh, wait a minute, what was that? Does that happen a lot for you guys? Or?
Not really. I mean, once in a while, but yeah, we practice so little. Like usually, we're kind of in and out. It's like we're there for 2 hours and we just go through the set and then leave. So we don't do a lot of jamming.
Gotcha. So let's see. Is there Oh, all right. I got a good one for you. So, what can people expect? You guys are going down the road. What can people expect from your live show? Those who've never seen you before.
Well, there's a lot of spewing bodily fluids, some kind of fair to middling guitar riffs, and some funny characters come out with silly costumes and make asses of themselves on stage.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, it's, people seem to like this. I don't understand it, but here we are.
Now, do you guys have a certain person that does all of your album art? Who did the album art for this new one?
The new album art is a guy who goes by Deco Noir Art, one word. And he's great. And we've used a lot of people in the past. We kind of try to use different people for each album cover just because it makes it a little different. So not everything looks exactly the same, but yeah, Deco Noir Art did the new one, and I'm overjoyed at how it came out.
Oh, it looks good, and the sound of the album's even better. So, people definitely don't want to sleep on this one. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover with the folks before we wrap this up, man?
Yeah, well, there's the tour, there's the record, and then there's also every Saturday, me and Dissector do a Twitch stream where we play video games and talk shit to each other with a couple of our friends. And you can join in and ask us stupid questions, and we might answer them, or we might just ban you from Twitch.
Do you have a link for that, or no? Do you know what your Twitch handle is?
Our handle, my handle is The Real Digestor, and Dissector's handle is Dissector GHOUL.
Gotcha.
And we usually do it on Saturday nights at about 8 Pacific.
All right, gotcha. So, folks, the new one from Ghoul, it is called Noxious Concoctions. You definitely don't want to miss this one. It is a freaking banger. Please check it out. It's going to be out February 2nd via Tankcrimes. Check your streaming platforms for availability. For more information, you guys can visit tankcrimes.com or on all the socials, Facebook, Insta, and Twitter, which I guess is called X now, but who gives a shit? And that is at Tankcrimes. Digester, man, listen, I'm hoping you guys are definitely coming close to me, so I definitely want to try to get out there to check you guys out. And again, guys, don't sleep on this new album because it's a banger. You guys ain't gonna want to miss it.
Absolutely not. Thank you very, very much for having me, and I will let you live if we see you at the show.
You know what, man? I definitely appreciate that, Digester. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen from Ghoul, Digester. Thank you, sir.
Bye, kids.